You ready, big guy? Good boy. Yeah. Okay. Finn, this way. Good boy. Wait. Yes, good boy. Who's that? Who's that? Really? Right, so in this point, you can kind of tell he's a little bit too much, so that's when I definitely wouldn't have him meet people. Whoever is handling can try to redirect, and that'll be a good way to gauge if he's able to listen or not. Finn, just sit. Good boy, wait. Right? Oh, yeah, there we go, see? So as soon as he kind of starts to calm himself down, he's like, how am I gonna get to say hi? And then he'll start to resort to calming down, just sitting on his own. And then when he does, go ahead and move. Yeah, and then when he gets too excited, just pause again. There you go. Good. Right? And it's hard because even though he's sitting and laying down, you still want to pay attention to his excitement level, right? Because right now he's more like a spring. Once he actually calms down, the excitement level and his, everything will go down a lot more, and that's how you'll know it's a little bit safer. Good boy. Good. Very good. There you go.
Good.
Good, there you go.
Good boy. Oh.
There you go, good. Now, right after you give him the treat is another good time, too, to reinforce a new sit, right? Or down. Good. And then again. Good.
Good boy.
Good. And then, whenever you want to, you can also ask him to jump up and say hi. So that will be a good way to reward him outside of a treat, right? Because of his ability. There you go. Good. And then, there you go. Perfect. Good. Okay. And now you kind of make a game out of it. Up and down. Up. Good. Good.
Okay, can you sit, please? Up.
There you go.
Good job, buddy. Okay, up. I know, you're so excited about those treats. Can you sit?
Very good. There you go.
Very good. Okay, up.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, sit. Good
Good
job. Okay.
boy.
Come on. Hi. Okay, sit, please.
Very good. Good.
Oh, sit, please. Okay. Yeah, you have good treats. Oh, sit.
Very good. Good.
Okay.
And now we'll try again when I'm kind of going into your space, right? He's a lot calmer now, but just practice him approaching and telling him to sit. There you go. Good. Perfect. It's a little bit easier at that point, but it's still a really good habit to kind of make and to practice too. It's a little bit easier with a partner, but you could always go in and out of a room. Good. And then we'll take it back here again. Ben, come. Good boy. Yes. Come. Right. So that way he gets used to on approach. There you go. To kind of automatically slow down, focus, and or sit. But it's mostly him focusing and slowing down. That's what we're looking for. Oh, there you go.
Can you sit?
Pretty good. And usually what I'll do is I'll break those in half.
Oh, okay, yeah, he's like living it up. Sorry.
That's okay.
I saw them and I was like, okay. No wonder you're so excited. You knew that you were getting these kind of treats.
Oh, good boy. That was pretty good, but you can kind of see, and you'll see in the video too, like how excited he is. It's like that moment that you're gonna need. Take a little bit of time. Don't let him engage yet. You know, maybe redirect. Maybe let that excitement run out a little bit, because a lot of times people just do things too quickly, and we might, depending on how he does on his other socials, we might get him like a training vest, so that way people don't just automatically approach and close the gap. Some of them might still do it, especially kids and stuff, but having just something visual will sometimes slow people down
to be like, what's on there?
Yeah, or they even think that it's like a service vest, and they'll kind of avoid or at least be a little more cautious right off the bat, and that'll give you time to be like, oh, would you like to say hi? This is the procedure.
This is the right way to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's a big part of it too, unfortunately. Like, we can have so many mock things, we can have him redirect and stuff, but some of it too is just how excited people will be when they see him in approach.
And they reinforce that energy.
All right.
Oh boy.
Did good.
Yeah.
Any questions on that before we get his brother?
The only question is like for doors and stuff. Do you do?
I'll show you a video with door control.
Okay.
Right now it's mostly just waiting him out, right? Because we're not doing any corrections, but he's starting to, like everything else, he's getting the idea that if I sit and wait, then I'll open the door for him.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'll do a video for you guys, but it's the same process. We're just really developing his patience and his refocus on us, especially when it comes to getting excited and seeing the leash. What I've been doing is I just pick it up, he gets too excited, I put it back down. Pick it up, he gets too excited, put it back down, and he's like, wait a second.
We're not going anywhere. We had started doing some of that with the door, but I think the leash is probably a good idea because he gets amped up.
It's a good way to start kind of cutting down that energy and excitement, because then by the time he's finally got leashed, he's pretty calm now, and then you go to the door and he's not as excited, and so you wait and he's like, oh, okay.
We have the door he gets really excited about, and then the porch he's excited to get onto, so by the time that we're like kind of going, he's already
just an excited boy, isn't
he? Yeah, he's just a puppy. Yeah.
All right. Any other questions?
No, I think that's good. Yeah.
All right.
I know.
And the goal is for actually letting him get distracted, and I either do two things. I'll either reward him for sustaining a focused follow and changing direction, and having him follow me, and then I'll give him a reward, or for redirecting and coming back to me on his name. Okay? So you can kind of practice with either one of those things. The reason why we want him to feel rewarded after walking with us and changing direction for a little bit is because that'll kind of help to tie into some more formal leash work and field work.
Something good.
Go ahead and give it a shot by calling his name.
Ben.
And then have him come to you.
Yay.
Perfect.
Oh, there's good boy.
Good. And then go ahead and start.
Okay.
And that's it. And just let him be free and get distracted. Like I said, if he does refocus on you and just comes to you, go ahead and mark that and have him follow you for a little bit, maintaining focus, and then reward him.
Okay.
Good boy. Good.
Good job, buddy.
He's hadn't had any accidents, so at least his potty training's been good.
His potty training is pretty darn good. This is a blessing.
Yeah, that can be tough for some pups.
Should I call him back?
Sure.
Ben. Ben. Ben.
Very engaged in whatever his nose is. It's okay.
Ben.
There you go. Good boy. Now have him follow you for a bit and then get a roll. Then I'll change direction on him.
Oh,
Good. There you go. And then I'll reward. There you go. Good. And so that'll be the biggest thing too, is because usually we'll either have like the leash pressure, or we'll have like a collar to beep or vibrate to help get his attention and have him refocus. Good boy. There you go. But we want him to really at first get conditioned to doing it off of his name. Good job.
Okay.
Perfect. And now he starts to kind of get into this more zone when he pays more attention, and then you get to the point where he almost sticks to you because of the treats and everything.
Yeah.
And when at that point is when I'll have him do a couple more things before he gets rewarded. So following me, sit, stay, and then coming and things like that. You just kind of add things along. Good boy.
Ready?
There you go. Very good.
Can we go this way?
Very good. There you go. Yeah. And all he's doing at that point is kind of getting used to following you and using his peripheral vision when you turn. And so that's why if you have him follow you and you turn a couple times and reward him afterwards, he's more inclined to notice and stick with you for that reward. Very good. And that's going to be the main distraction for most pups and puppies, is in general is just their nose, right?
Yeah.
So good boy. Good job. Very good. Good. Well, what we'll try to do as we get more practice in, especially with him responding to his name, is like kind of picking and choosing when to call his name. So if he's really distracted by his nose and his failure rate's going to be pretty high, trying to wait until he's done sniffing or he's transitioning into finding something else interesting, and then calling his name at that moment when he's not absorbed. Yeah, he's coming. Good boy.
Good job.
Right. And some of it too is, like I said, we're not putting in a lot of extra pressure. So he hears us and he's coming. He's also still working through all those distractions along the way.
So like the delay is not a
Nah.
just deciding and sorting through.
Later on, if you need to add more urgency, that's when you use things like the continuous or leash pressure and stuff like that, right? So a way that we've taught pups before is they'll get a beep, they'll hear the beep until they come all the way back to a placement mat, and as soon as they get on the placement mat, the beep stops. You do the same thing with either like the vibrate or the static if you need to for more urgency, so they know.
Really have to come back.
Yeah, and they know that once they get back, that's when that either sound or sensation or whatever stops. Or leash pressure, right? But right now, we're just kind of letting him feel free. We actually want him to get distracted because we need him to hear his name when he's distracted and work through it.
Ben.
It's okay.
No, that's too good. I've seen him like go around and kind of like, he does this somewhat regularly in our backyard, but it's rare to see him do it.
All
Come
right.
on, Ben.
There you go. Good. Right.
How about we go this way?
Very good. There you go. Good. And what I'll do, you'll see in videos too, is I'll just have him touch, or I'll just hold my hand as if I had a treat and have him follow me. And then after he's done it for a bit, then I'll have him sit, and then I'll reach for a treat and give him a reward. So that way you can start weaning him off of actually luring and more of just like, hey, heel, right? And having a place, or a signal or something to help him focus on where he should be, right? When it comes to healing.
Found a good spot again?
So I think it's the same spot. So another good exercise would be if you want to go around that fence corner and then call his name as well. I don't know if he's getting into rabbit poop, so I'll use a little leash pressure there. So I'll hold him here and he'll see you go around. Yep, go ahead. Good boy. And so now when he's not paying attention to you, go back around the fence the other way and try to do it without him noticing and then call his name. Very good. An exercise like that is easier to do in the house or if you have a partner to help you. But what's good about that is then you start to develop his kind of hide and go seek thing when he either recalls where you last went and kind of goes that way or has no idea, which is even better, and he has to start using either his nose or you have to repeat his name after a few seconds and he starts using kind of echolocation. So it's kind of a more advanced recall, but it's even more engaging for him.
Yeah. I've seen the videos of people doing the hide and seek, and it always looks fun. 10.
And then just keep walking too.
10.
Yep, just keep on going. We'll see we'll see how long, there it goes. Right? So instead of always having to force him to follow us, just letting him know that we are going somewhere, and if he doesn't catch up, he's gonna lose us. Yeah. There you go. All right, so now that he's going around that corner, go ahead and call him back this way.
10.
He's stuck on a smell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Go ahead and move back a little bit more and try to call him again.
10.
There you go. We're finding random things to eat now. At least he dropped it. He's pretty good about that too.
Wait.
Hey. Oh, looked like he was gonna pee.
Yeah.
Now he's like not sure of something that's over there. There we go, good boy.
Good boy, buddy.
There you go. And so practices like this are much easier in the house, right? Almost too easy. And then once you practice and he gets used to a different environment, then you want to kind of reset, maybe even just drive or walk 5-10 minutes to a brand new environment and then do it again. Right? Because then that way he's constantly working through new distractions. Are we done? Yeah, that's a little less than average, but I guess it's towards the end of the day. Now, luckily for you, they don't really have like German Shepherd or Border Collie levels of endurance.
Yeah.
Which is good and bad because like you can only usually train them for shorter periods of time. You ready to tap out for your brother?
Come on.
Bye, Fan. Come on. Good boy.
We have noticed when we're on our walk, on the way back, he pulls a lot more. And I can't tell if it's because he's like done with the heat
Maybe.
or like why it's typically worse on the way back.
Let's see.
10.
Because right now he's just pulling to get to that
To get to
smell.
the smell.
Mhm.
10. Come on.
Good job.
Good way.
So part of it too, like I said, is going to be patience on our end as he's learning to get listen through distractions and kind of desensitizing himself a little bit to the environment. It's a big reason why older pups, don't really care as much. Whereas newer pups, especially puppies, are like, oh, what is this? What is this? What is this? Yeah. So you want to try to find that balance between letting them kind of explore so they can actually get used to things, and then also making them feel rewarded when they check in or hold focus or redirect. All right, big guy.
You want me to wait here?
Say goodbye. Yeah, I'll let you say goodbye. Well, I'll bring them both back out before you leave. Here? Yes. Good boy. Up here. Yes. Good. Yes. Wait. Okay, this way. Boy. Who's that? Who's that? Okay. Now with him, it's almost like being really preemptive and getting him down, like telling him down and being low at the same time. There you go. There you go. Good. Not quite as energetic and excited as his brother, but the same principles of being early kind of apply, especially when you can tell he's excited because of his body language and his tail. Very good. Yeah, there you go. Good. It seemed like he was going to bark too there, but he didn't, which was good. Good boy.
He's like, I don't know.
There you go. Good boy. Yeah, definitely not as much of a problem with him, but you still want to be preemptive. Oh.
Other side. Yeah. It's gross, right?
He did pretty well, especially with kids at the bus stop.
Oh,
so
yeah?
I think
That's great.
we'll have to maybe graduate to the playground or the kids running around when they're hanging out and playing in the neighborhood and things like that too.
I think we had a neighbor that he would always scream whenever he saw it, scream and cry.
Oh.
So I think he's a little scarred from that.
Yeah, he's definitely afraid of kids. Yeah. So it's going to be more about really trying to find good interactions with kids for him and kind of ease into it and trying to expand his inner circle. So if you have any friends or family with kids, that would be a good way to kind of get them to volunteer, or slowly with knowing any kids in the neighborhood and things would be really good too. Especially if they already have family pets, things like that will probably be really good. And then just talking to their parents at the playground and things about that would probably be the best, because we want to try to have as many good controlled interactions as possible. It'll be easy for me and the neighborhood kids because of course they know me and the dogs
Yeah,
and
they probably
everything.
get a lot of practice.
We've done it quite a
dogs.
few times at this point. He's already met them pretty good too. But you'll want to try to have as many of those opportunities as possible to kind of get him to kind of relax and ease into it a little bit more. So we want him to try to actually look forward to it. It's just gonna take a little while to get back onto that side of the scale is all. But no, nothing too bad. He's definitely more towards the scared and unsure side of things than anything else.
You know what that is?
The reverse sneeze.
Oh, you know, somebody was telling me about that yesterday.
Yeah, some pups will do it. Sometimes it's just because of allergies or whatnot.
He does have some snores too. So it's really cute. I'm sure that's not great for his sleep, but it's really cute. We doing the same thing, or we doing something else with him?
Same thing.
I see you. I know.
With him, I've been more so focused on his, as you can kind of see there, his feel and follow. once I get his attention. With Fen, it's been more of like just getting his attention in the first place.
Sure.
But you can, feel free to go. Yeah, not having him follow you for a bit. And what I'll do with him, just because he's a lot better, is I'll count the times that he redirects, and by like the third to fifth time that he refocuses on me, then I'll give him a treat. Right? So that's one. Good boy. That's two. That's three. 4. 5. Right. So you see, he's a lot better at maintaining focus, right? As well as just getting it back. We want to try to get Fen to that level. With you and him, you could probably do more of like the around the corners and hiding from him kind of deal. Oh, he caught you.
Yeah.
He caught you
Yeah,
again.
you know where I am.
He's pretty good. With him, you'd probably have to have him sit, stay, or have somebody hold him while you go hide in the house. Good boy. There you go. And even though he's better, it's still good to practice, right, before we do anything else. They'll start to kind of differentiate in their training in a couple more days and kind of specify, but we usually in the beginning we kind of go over basics with both of them to see how they are. But you could definitely tell he's older, calmer, and probably has some more training
Yeah,
in
he
him.
definitely has a lot more training. He got really good. We did a lot of beach walking when he was probably about 6 or 7 months.
Oh.
So we did a lot of recall where he'd kind of get to the end and I'd be like, okay, come back, ignore the seaweed.
Good job. He's much better at his periphery too, so if like you suddenly change direction, he notices a lot more if you're close to him. Which is also really helpful, right? He's like, what are you doing? Where are you going?
Down?
Same with like the door control and everything else. He's just a little bit calmer and faster at everything. But we'll get his brother to that point too.
Yeah. So again, I mean, I was really bad with him because we did the Baxter and Bella like online stuff.
Oh, nice.
And I just had a lot more time and I didn't have 2 dogs and I didn't have many friends where I was living, so we had a lot of time
Aw.
doing that.
He doesn't get stuck on distractions as easily too. You can kind of see, kind of ping pongs a lot faster, whereas Fen will kind of get something, get stuck, and then he'll find something else, get stuck. And sometimes that's just the differences in pups. That's why it's also sometimes good to be able to either have that leash pressure or a beep or something else to help to kind of snap him out of it. Right now we're only just trying to use his name and really develop it. So before anything corrective, we'll also try like higher value treats.
Yeah.
and build more of an association for like that twitch response. hmm But he's doing pretty good.
Yeah, he
So-
seems like it. Had a little bit of change in environment too. It's a little bit more
Mhm.
off your common patterns of the
Oh yeah, inside they're pretty much 100% with, especially with treats and stuff. So that's not that's not a problem. And it's just like I said, kind of getting out and getting to new areas. Like so, being here is really good because of all the smells. Being in the court, with just the asphalt, is a lot less smells and distractions. There's a couple paved driveways too that are empty that we use as well, to kind of help them with either easing them into new exercises and having less distractions, and then kind of graduate them to here. And then the last thing that we'll usually go to is like a dog park where there's lots of distractions, including other dogs, even if it's empty, lots of smells and dogs coming and going, and then doing things, doing the same practices both with recall and leash work off leash.
here.
Oh, good boy. Right? So he does the same thing there when he definitely heard you and responds, but then like thinks about whatever it was before coming in.
Yeah.
Right? He was a lot more obvious about it, but it was the same kind of process.
Good way.
Yeah, I think it won't be too long before we definitely, so we need to practice still redirecting and some leash work with him because that'll help with the kids.
Okay. Come here, come here.
But most of his training is going to deviate more towards that, and then fence is going to be more towards like the basic stuff. They did pretty good though at the farmers market for how
I
intense that
saw
is.
how crazy that was. You guys have a really busy farmers market.
Yeah.
Um,
I figure it was a little bit early, but I was like, well, this way we can see how they do on the next weekend and the last
yeah,
weekend.
well, that's a
things
good
like that.
tracking comparison.
Mhm. Do you have any questions
Yeah.
or anything else before you just hang out with them?
No, not really. Boy.
Too bad it's a Sunday. I was hoping that more kids would be out playing, but they're not for some reason. The weather's
It's
really
a little
nice.
hot compared to earlier this week, I guess.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, it's also the first week of school.
Ah.
So, I don't know if they assigned homework the first week, but
That sounds very good.
yeah, my friend, I got breakfast with her today. She's a teacher, and she was like, "Yep, we just had our first week."
Oh, nice. How'd she enjoy being back to school?
I think it's always a little tough, when you kind of got a break from it. They get a full 2 months off, and so it's like, who am I gonna get in my class? And I'm sure it's very similar for students in some ways. But like,
Right.
what am I gonna get this year? Or am I gonna have the kid with behavioral issues? Am I gonna have, a good collection of people, or people who are really
Boy.
distracted?
Oh, I know.
Yeah, you're not into
There
that, are
you
you?
go. Good job.